Well, hello there, my fellow rushers. How are you doing today? King Rex here, and today we're gonna be doing a challenge that was kind of inspired by Glauss Cannon Volcano, and I decided to do it in Origins. The challenge is, can you beat King Rush Origins on Impossible using the alternate towers? Now, what does that mean? Well, let's get into the rules and explain what we're doing. So yeah, the rules for the challenge. Rule number 1, we're gonna be doing the main campaign for now. Post game is gonna be probably next week. Rule number 2, we're playing on Impossible mode as per usual. Already set in. Rule number 3, what can we use? We can use, well, basically, we're using the weaker tier 4 in general. And my picks are Golden Longbow, Forest Keepers, Wild Magus, and Arc Druid Henge. Now, I'll explain my reasoning behind them later on into the video. Rule number 4, we're gonna be upgrading as we progress. So reset everything and we're gonna be getting 5 stars per level. And rule number 5, just for more difficulty, we're gonna restrict ourselves to using only the free heroes. So yeah, that's pretty much the rules of the challenge. And let's get on with it and have some fun with the game for once. Okay, so the first few levels are a joke. That should have been obvious. They're a joke. What a surprise. So, until we get to a somewhat of a difficult level, let's talk about my picks and why did I decide to pick those specific towers. To be honest, for the archers it was a little bit obvious choice, like Golden Longbow, even though it could be good tower on some levels, like for example Beheader's Seat, that's a pretty good map for the Golden Longbow, he doesn't really have too much outstanding qualities. Sure, the insta-kill is nice, but keep in mind it's 900 whopping gold to fully max it out, and it has only 9% chance to insta-kill. And for those of you who don't know, when someone gets close to the Golden Longbow, he starts attacking a little bit quicker. That's because that's kind of like his short range attacks, where he starts attacking faster but he deals less damage. And also, the chance for the insta-kill gets reduced by half if he's shooting at a close range. Which means that you technically have 4.5% chance for spending whopping 900 gold. And 900 gold is a lot of gold. That's a crap ton. And yeah, I don't feel like it's worth it. Sure, the Hunter's Mark is fine, but it's not really good for like basic enemies. It's good for tough enemies, and other than that, it's kinda just there. It's kind of just sitting there. While the Arcane Archer has a lot of better properties, like he can reduce magic resistance, he has arrows that do magical area damage and they have a pretty good cooldown, he can stun enemies every now and then, and he can target multiple enemies at once, plus he has faster attack rate. Which, by the way, even though the attack rate says that he attacks at average attack rate, he actually attacks every 0.8 seconds, which I don't know about you, but it seems pretty fast to me. I don't think that's average, but I don't know, maybe it's just a bug, I don't know. Now for the barracks. The barracks was probably the hardest choice, because, let's be honest, the barracks in Origins are by far the best out of any game. I think that we can all agree on that. Like, in the original Kingdom Rush, sure, Paladins were pretty tanky, they were cool, but they had their weaknesses. Barbarians, they did a good amount of damage, but they died a little bit too easily. And then Frontiers, you know, you're just assassins, Templars just... No, Templars are by far the worst barrack in the game. Well, maybe the Orc Warrior stand is worse, but I'm not quite sure. Anyway, the Wild Magus is here, finally. This is gonna be my magic choice, but first of all, what is my barrack choice? Well, as you saw, we didn't get the Blade Singers, so yeah, it's Forest Keepers. I know, some of you are probably gonna say that I should have picked the Blade Singers, but you know, everyone has different opinion, and in my opinion, I feel like this one is gonna be the what would you call it? The Forest Keepers. They're a little bit worse in a way that you get less stalling power. They're not very durable. Even though they have 300 health, they only have low armor, and you have 2 of them, unlike the Blade Singers when you have 3. And 3 is usually better. Also, my artillery choice is Arc Druid Henge. And yeah, it's I just feel like the Forest Keepers are a little bit worse when it comes down to stalling power. Sure, they do more damage, but they're not really great at crowd control and tanking really tough enemies. Even though they have the heal ability, I don't know, I find the Blade Singers to be more effective. Plus they still have a good crowd control due to their Blade Dance ability. And yeah, that's my choice. As far as the magic goes, as I said, Wild Magus, he kinda has the same issue with as the Golden Longbow. He's really good for single target, but sucks at crowd control. Even though the skill makes a explosion that deals magical damage, this skill happens once every 28 seconds, so you're not gonna get a lot of it. You're not gonna get a lot of area damage, unless everyone is like really piled up, then it could be useful, but for the most part it's not like the best thing. But still, the Wild Magus is good only for single targets. Crowd control, no. I mean, the Halberd made sure he's not too outstanding when it goes down to single target, but he can do a pretty decent damage with the Sentinels and all. Plus he can target 3 enemies at once, which is very nice. He has a decent air support, and he can stun enemies technically with the time lapse, which is pretty interesting. And yeah, as far as my artillery choice goes, it's Arc Druid Henge. I feel like this tower is a little bit more weaker than the Weirdwood. I mean, the damage is weak. The damage is way lower. Even though he can hold up to 3 stones and toss them at once, I don't find it to be too amazing. The bears are nice, but they're a little bit too expensive for my liking. The Sylvan Curse is cool, but it's kind of dependable. Like if you target a tough enemy, someone who has like 1000 HP, then that's awesome. But if you target someone who has like barely any HP left, then you're basically wasting the ability. And yeah, it's kind of expensive too, like 750 bucks in total to fully upgrade it, because if you don't fully upgrade it, it's not quite worth it. And yeah, that's pretty much my reasoning behind my picks. And yeah, so far we've been doing well. Sure, Crystal Lake was a little bit challenging, you know. We had a couple of close calls here and there, but for the most part we brushed through it. Speaking of brushing through, this level wasn't as bad as I thought. I thought that the mushrooms are gonna be problematic because, you know, I felt like the Arc Druid Henge would not do all that great, but surprisingly he's been holding his ground pretty well. I guess the bears are kinda helpful, at least at this level, because, you know, they can stall out the Fungal Breeder, which is pretty much the only problematic enemy on this level. All you need to do is just stall him out or spawn kill them. You know, just make sure he's gone as soon as possible, otherwise you're gonna get overwhelmed by munch shrooms. Yeah, that's what they're called. Now let's get the bloodletting ability, because why not? One of the best abilities ever, in my opinion. And now here we are at the second boss, Militia. And she shouldn't be all that bad. I picked Lilith just cause I really love her. You probably already know that. If you've been following my channel for a while, you know that I'm just simping for Lilith. She is amazing. If there was a tier list as far as Sims goes, I will be on top. I love this girl to death. Even though when I'm doing a really hard challenge with her, I die many times due to bad RNG. I just really like her. Maybe, I don't know. It's a weird it's something like a love and hate relationship where I really love her, but I also hate her at the same time. I don't know how to explain it. It's a complicated feeling. But anyway, we already beat Militia. Wow. Well, that was quick. Let's get this one? Why not? Yeah, this level was pretty much a joke. And this one is a joke as well. I mean, look at that. Is it supposed to be difficult? These are technically the weaker tier 4 towers, and we're doing just fine. No weird wood, no Blade Singer action, no Arcane Archer action. We're doing fine. I'm quite impressed. And to be honest, I'm starting to pay more respect towards the Golden Longbow. Even though he misses quite a bit, he is still a relatively good tower, at least in my books. And now here for this one. Now, if you have noticed, on this level there are 2 little icons at the top left. That's because I've been streaming this on Discord and I had a couple of people that I talked to. So if you see the icons, I apologize, that's just the way it is. And yeah, for those of you who are unaware, I have a Discord server, so if you want to, go ahead and join, and the link is down into the description. so it will be nice to see you there. I stream every Friday and Saturday around 8 p.m. Eastern European time, so if you want to join in, go ahead. I would love to see you there. We can chat, we can just chill out and just do some weird challenges. And yeah, here we go. The penultimate level. Well, this level had me struggling a little bit on the stream. I lost on it multiple times due to spiders, because, you know, they're sneaky and they can easily run right through, especially on impossible mode, but I was able to pull it off at the end. And now for the last level was surprisingly easy. I don't know. Like, in comparison to other really tough challenges like level 1 Archer, this is just a cakewalk. I mean, yeah, the point of this challenge is not really to be super challenging, it's more about having fun with the game, playing it in a different way. And you know, just because this is a challenge, it doesn't necessarily have to be like something too ridiculous. And yeah, sorry for the pause there, I just had a little bit of an important conversation with my fellow rusher over there, so apologies for it. I know I can edit it out, but I'm kind of in a bit of a hurry, so I don't really want to edit out all that much. So yeah, here we go with the last boss. Here we go with the spider goddess. Let's see what happens. Also, they expect an interesting bug. Now, I'm not sure if that was discovered before, but here it is basically. Look at her when she goes to her fourth phase. She didn't destroy a tower. I don't know why, but hey, it worked in my favor. So yeah, we're donezo. And in the end, of course, we have to answer the question. Can you beat Kingdom Rush Origins on Impossible with the alternate towers? The answer is obvious. Yes, you can, with the free heroes nonetheless. Yeah, that was a pretty fun challenge. I'll definitely be doing the post-game next week. And I would love to see how it's gonna turn out. And yeah, guys, with that out of the way, that's gonna do it for the video. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I appreciate you for sticking around to the end. Subscribe if you want to see more of this content in the future. And of course, while you're at it, drop a like on the video, it means a lot to me. And I will see you in the next video. Until it comes, that was King Rexy, over and out. Goodbye guys, and as per usual, have a good day.